Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for this presentation to show you the capabilities of Workbooks CRM, what areas of your business it can address, and how my company, Wizard Systems, can help you with any CRM project there. Now, we run these short presentations every Friday, focusing on different aspects of CRM and Workbooks. And today we're going to look more closely at how you keep a track of your sales opportunities, your sales inquiries, your opportunities, forecasts, and that sort of thing, the sales process essentially. Now, this presentation will be approximately 30 minutes or so. It's just a basic session. Everyone uses CRM in different ways. Everyone's got different requirements, and I wouldn't have enough time this morning to go through over all the capabilities of Workbooks. That's why we're just concentrating on one element of it. So after this session, if you want to explore Workbooks in more detail, we'd love to do a more one-to-one session with you if you haven't had that already, and discuss your specific needs with your company, and take you through all of the capabilities. Also on the call today, we've got different people with different levels of knowledge of Workbooks. Some people are already trialing the system, so they may know already some of the opportunity tracking capabilities of Workbooks. And some have never seen it before at all. So excuse me, I need to focus on trying to deliver information that's relevant to everyone, but I need to go at the speed of the slower, so to speak. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. Your microphone is on mute. If you've got any questions, please locate your question section on your meeting control panel. It's probably in the top right corner of your screen. Pop those questions in there. I'll read those out towards the end of the session, so in about 20-25 minutes or so. And I'll just give out your first name to protect your identity. But if you've got any good questions, and also specifically around opportunity management, try and focus on that if you will. But I'll answer any question on Workbooks. This session is being recorded. After the presentation, you'll receive an email with a link to recording, and we'll put it on our YouTube channel as well, as indeed all our previous presentations are up there. So please take a look. And as I say, covering all different aspects of Workbooks and CRM. Okay, so let's get started then. First, a brief mention about Wizard Systems. We're an independent reseller, dealer of CRM applications. Workbooks is the most popular system we provide. And we've been doing this a long time, well over a couple of decades now. Workbooks, as you know, it's a cloud solution, so there's nothing to install. And we do have clients that set their own systems up and teach themselves how to use it. But we're here on hand to help you with any aspect of the setup of Workbooks, maybe migrating data from an old system into the new system, customizing it to your requirements, providing training. We can train you at your place. You can come to our place. We're based just north of Bristol. We can do training online, and we provide all the ongoing support as well. So you're not in this on your own. If you get stuck, you call us. We're CRM experts. Now, of course, the thing we want to get at when working with yourselves is, what do you want to get out of a CRM system? What objectives are you looking to achieve? What issues are you looking to solve? When we're looking at this morning, we're looking at how you track opportunities. How are you doing that right now? Are you using an Excel spreadsheet? Is it tracked somewhere else? Is it in an old legacy CRM system that's not functioning too well for you right now? So that's really what we want to get at, is to see what you want to achieve, what's the ROI. After 6 months of using Workbooks, when we look back, how are we going to measure how successful we are? Is it better reporting on sales? Is it better management of the sales process, and visibility of your pipeline, and sharing that pipeline? What are the key things you're looking for? So what is Workbooks? Well, it's an easy to use, affordable, central, single application to manage all your information about your business contacts, your people, your interactions with those people. There's some marketing tools in there as well to help you be more targeted on your communications to your prospects and customers. Unusually for a CRM system, and we're going to focus on the sales order, the sales process and the sales order process in future presentations. But unusually for a CRM system, it can do quotes, orders, and invoices. Many other CRM applications out there either can't do it, or they need to rely on some third-party software where there might be some flaky integration. It's all in Workbooks, and there's options for creating orders and invoices. We can track customer service as well. Do you have a customer service team or engineers or technicians or a help desk? They too could be using Workbooks and sharing information more effectively over your customer-facing teams, your sales team, your marketing team, your support teams, and the management. And of course, Workbooks, as well as it being a great personal productivity tool for the users, it's also a management tool as well to help you make decisions, see what's going on there, what's working, what isn't working in the business, helping you control the business more effectively. Now, Workbooks is a UK system that's been around a long time now, well-established system, highly respected. If you see any of the independent reviews up on various websites like G2 Crowd, we score very heavily, particularly we score very highly in the sectors of ease of use and user satisfaction. Workbooks is very, very easy to use. It's a very reliable system. Last year, 2014, we had a 99.99% uptime. It's a very secure application. Workbooks has been certified in all of the 6 releases of the UK G-Cloud government certification program. Bit of a mouthful, but basically you've got a nice warm feeling that your data is safe and secure. And very fast, very easy to use. UK system, all the data is in the UK, 100% cloud, nothing to install. You don't need to worry about backups or upgrades. You're up and running very, very quickly. So just focusing on contact management. So with Workbooks, you get a ready-made database for tracking leads, people, customers, companies, organizations. It's very customizable. You tell it what you want to record. You can also deploy different security levels in there as well. If you want to hide information from people, you can do that with Workbooks. Of course, generally speaking, we're trying to make things open and using a CRM system as a way of sharing information with your salespeople. But if you need to hide information or make things read only, that's possible with Workbooks as well. You're managing all your activities, your sales interactions with Workbooks, your tasks, your calls, your meetings. They're all tracked there in the system. You're building up a wonderful client history as well of what's gone on with that client. We've got email integration. We can interface with any email system, and we have a very nice integration with Microsoft Outlook as well, so that as you send and receive your emails, they can be copied into Workbooks. And also a way of sharing the calendar. There's a nice graphical calendar in Workbooks, sharing the calendar in Workbooks with the calendar in Outlook. We will work with any browser, but mobile access is included. So we've got a mobile app now. If you're using a smartphone or tablet, basically whatever device you've got a way of accessing your system. A brief mention about marketing. We do cover this in other weekly sessions, email marketing, but a very easy way of getting data into Workbooks. If you've got an Excel spreadsheet right now of your customer names and addresses, a very easy way of getting that in and exporting the information out. We've also got a way of integrating with your website forms. So as an inquiry comes in, that can be automatically recorded in Workbooks and somebody alerted to that new lead. We can easily create target lists in the system. And as regards email marketing, we have integrations with MailChimp, Constant Contact, and .mailer. And it's generally speaking a two-way integration. So as you generate your emails automatically back in Workbooks, you're going to see what emails were sent to a customer, what did they open, what did they click on, and so on. Now, managing the sales process. So you get your inquiries, what do you do with them? Well, you put them into workbooks, you're managing the sales process you're going through, and the opportunity creation, and indeed we can do quotes as well. The quote creation capability is included with workbooks. You don't need to use that if it's not necessary for you, but it is included for you, an easy way of creating nice quotes. We can store your price list in workbooks. You can import prices into workbooks. You can define different quote layouts for different quotation situations, and those quotes can be emailed directly from the workbook system and fully integrated with the opportunities. So if you imagine, as you're generating quotes, they are updating the opportunity, the summary, if you like, of this business, this project that you're hoping to get from that client. It's a nice way of doing things once and making sure everything's kept up to date as regards the top line figures there. And there are two different editions of workbooks. When you sign up for workbooks, there's CRM edition or business edition. Business edition is priced slightly higher. We'll come on to prices at the end. But business edition allows you to do orders, invoices, credit notes, supplier purchase orders, and also record customer payments. So you've got a solution with workbooks that can track the sales process from lead to cash. Everything tracked in one application. Now, if you are using an accounting system, say like Sage 50, we do have an optional link to that, so you can create your quotes orders in workbooks and have those transferred into Sage 50 without the need for rekeying any information. So brief mention about customer service. This is all included. You can disable it if it's not relevant to you, but an easy way of tracking customer service issues, applying deadlines. It's a very customizable part as well, as indeed most screens are, most forms, most screens that you see in workbooks are very customizable. You're tracking the history of issues. So you're building up a trend there of what's been going on. And as you're tracking those problems and resolutions to those problems, you're building up in a way a sort of knowledge base in there. Right, final slide before we dive into the demo proper. Putting your manager's hat on now, you've got a great way with workbooks of managing the numbers. What are your sales activity levels like? And how many leads are you getting? How many calls are you doing? How many meetings, how many client meetings are you doing or have planned? Workbooks is going to give you answers to these questions. Of course, the key thing for many of our clients is using a CRM system to track their opportunities with a customer. So a complete way of managing the sales process from start to finish. Now, there is a report writer in workbooks. There's about 50 or so reports in there to get you going. You can create your own reports as well. We may feature writing reports in another presentation. And also complementary to that are dashboards, nice graphical bar graphs, pie charts, homing in on key metrics, key performance indicators like leads coming in, opportunities due by salesperson, by product, or however you want to slice and dice the information there. Okay, let's dive into workbooks proper. This morning I am showing you workbooks in Chrome. It will work with any browser, it'll work on an Apple, and via a slightly different, simpler interface, it will be available on your smartphone, iPhone, Android, or tablet. But as you can see here, and apologies for those people that have already using workbooks or trying workbooks, the interface as you log in, it's got that familiar look and feel straight away. It looks like your Windows desktop with the start button down there in the bottom left-hand corner and a Google-like search box to the right of that. You can type in someone's name, part of the description of an opportunity, and it will find it for you instantly in the system wherever it exists. But from that start button and your start menu, here we are. We've got all of the important elements, components of a proper CRM solution, with right at the top there, people and organizations, the people you deal with, the organization. So you can click into these options and that will display what's called the landing page of all of the people in your system, all of the people in your database. Now, these might be individuals working on their own. There may be individuals working for companies, but there they all are there in rather like an Excel type row by row summary format. Likewise, you can dive into companies or organizations. There we are. There's all the companies in your system. A very easy way of accessing those people and companies. Now, sales and opportunities. So there's a sales section here in Workbooks, and off of that we can see our leads, our quotations, orders, sales forecast. But today we're looking at opportunities. So I click there and I display the opportunities landing page. Like we saw with people and companies, a summarized view here, row by row, showing me all of the opportunities for me on the go right now. Now the columns you see there, you can customize. You can click into any of these column sections where you might want to insert some new information in this summary view. And there's a whole heap of different columns that you can insert in there if you wanted to see that information. And also you can put these opportunities into different groups. If you just want to see, show me all of my opportunities above 50% probability, show me all of the opportunities for salesperson Mary, show me all of the opportunities for this type of product. That's what you do with these views. Using the filtering facility here, top right corner, it's possible to easily interrogate workbooks and put these opportunities into different groups there. Now let's dive into a customer record here and then see an opportunity. So here is a client's record, Atlantic Computer Services here. If I click on them, this organization, this will display their opportunity. Now this is just an example of what an opportunity looks like. In the top half of the screen, we've got a row of tabs running across the top there, so we can see more detailed information about this opportunity. And below that, the standard display of what workbooks can track about this opportunity. So we've got the name of the opportunity, some unique description. Who does it relate to? When's the closing date? When is this order expected? What's the stage of negotiation? Now these are just sample drop-down lists here. This can be totally changed by you to reflect maybe your sales methodology. If you use some kind of, if you adhere to some kind of sales process there, like Miller Heiman or large account selling, workbooks can be easily adapted to replicate those well-known sales methodologies. But here we're applying a little bit of science to the way we're tracking our sales. And related to the stage of the opportunity, we've got the probability. So, and in workbooks, you can link the two together if you want to. So if we had an opportunity at really early days, so we're in the qualify stage, in this example here, you can call it what you want. It might be initial inquiry, for example. Well, do you see there? Probability is 0. If, however, things are going well with this client and this opportunity, and we're now awaiting order, aka stage number 4, well, that's immediately jumped to 80% probability. Why do we have that probability? Well, we want to make sure that everyone is consistently reporting on the likelihood of that sale. And also when we come on to sales forecasting, typically we're going to multiply the expected value of the sale, the revenue maybe, or the margin of the sale, by the probability to give us a weighted value, the potential of that sale. Which is the normal way that most companies would go about their sales forecast reporting there. The sales value, the revenue multiplied by the probability is going to give the potential of that sale. We may want to also categorize this opportunity. Do you have in your company different areas of your business? So when you come to reporting, maybe you want to report on what sector, what department, what area this relates to. Top right corner, important bit of information. Who is the salesperson or team that's looking after this sale? So when you come on to doing a reporting, of course, we can do sales expected by salesperson. Now, a bit of marketing information here. Where did this opportunity come from? Did it come from a lead from a show? Was it from a supplier? Was it a referral from a top customer of yours? Maybe you want to track those lead sources, and particularly if it's a referral from a client. What system do you have in your company for rewarding your referrals? If referrals is a big way of getting business, then maybe you need to look at encouraging that and monitoring those referrals. And you can basically customize this top half of the screen here. So if there's other information you want to record, that can be displayed in there. If you want to, you can also then further describe the individual items or services that build up this opportunity. You don't need to. And from here, you can then create a quote. If you've got the business edition, you can go on to creating orders and invoices. And there's also an option for tracking customer contracts. This is an additional module. There's an add-on subscription for this, but if in your company as part of opportunities, you're also tracking contracts as well, we've got a lovely contracts module. So that's the main information about the opportunity. And then running across the top there, you've got lots of tabs. On the summary tab, with the audit module, you can, and some sales managers love this, they want to know against an opportunity, when did it change? When did it change from a 20% probability to a 50% probability? Or this sale is now due in October, but it was due, I'm sure, in August. Who changed that? Well, this is the blow-by-blow audit trail of every single bit of information that was changed about this opportunity. And you can click into these if you're nosy, and you can see here, oh yes, well, the previous value, previous close date of this opportunity was then in 2011, but now it's 2012. So we can see those changes and who changed them and when did they change that. In the cycle of the opportunity, so the opportunity is particularly relevant, is even more relevant when you have high value products you're selling, or your sales process is complicated, or there's a long time scale from inquiry to order, or maybe there's lots of tasks that you need to track along the journey of the opportunity. Reminders. So again, we focus on this in other weekly presentations, how you manage your activities. So here we can track any task, call, meeting relating to this opportunity. Emails as well. Any emails, sorry, I don't have any there, but any emails coming in from Outlook will be displayed there. Of course, there may be more than one decision maker. So who else is working on this project and what's their role on this project? Who are the different companies relating to this project? When we supply workbooks into project focus organizations, maybe they're architects, for example. So they want to know on a building project who are the other consultants, who are the builders, other contractors. So this is a way of tracking all those related companies there and describing what is their role, what is their status of their relationship on this opportunity. And transactions, wherever you see transactions workbooks, that relates to quotes, orders, invoices, so all the financial type things. So that's the transactions tab there. Right, so that's an individual opportunity. Yes, you can use the opportunities landing page to get that summary view there, but also there are dashboards and reports in Workbooks. Depending on your security access, you can export this information as well. You may disable that for some people, but you can easily export any of the information that you see in Workbooks in a common format. If I just close down these couple of windows now and look at briefly some reporting tools. We do focus on this in other weekly presentations, but just briefly here, if I go into dashboards here and I look at my sales dashboard, for example, this is just an example of what dashboards can be. You can have one or many little panels here displaying information right now of what's happening on sales by stage, your deals, sales against your target, how you're performing right now. So nice tools in there to help you see what's going on, to summarize information, to help you make better decisions. Okay, there we are then. A quick run through opportunity management. Very flexible, very customizable, very powerful, easy to use part of Workbooks, and a fundamental part of any CRM solution. Right, just a little bit of information before we dive into our questions section. Just to summarize the pricing for those of you that don't know that, and here we are, CRM edition and business edition. You pay annually in advance for Workbooks, so it's $228 for the CRM edition. CRM edition will go up to quote stage, and if you need to track orders and invoices, then you need the business edition, which is $504 per user plus VAT per user per year. And you can mix and match these two editions as well. So if you're 5 users, you could have 2 people on business and 3 people on CRM, no problem. Also, there are some add-on modules, options. I mentioned the contracts module earlier on. Also, the Outlook connector, as it's called, is a very popular add-on, allowing you to share information with Outlook and your emails backwards and forwards. And also budget for any assistance you might see value for as regards implementation, setup, training. Once we know your requirements, we can give you full costs for your consideration on that normally via a formal quotation to you. Okay, I'd now like to open up our presentation to any questions you've got there. So please locate your question section and type those in there. I will just read out your first name. So first question from Andrew: is there an employee scheduling tool within the system, or that can be linked to Workbooks and populated with data added to Workbooks fields? Well, yes, Andrew, you could. Of course, activity tracking is a key part of any CRM system. So you can use Workbooks for tracking employee schedules. The activity could be related to a project. And you can also very easily build in additional information about the duration of this activity and whether it's billable or non-billable as well. Next question from Herman: how do you change a lead to an opportunity? Well, a lead, okay, so for those people that may not know this, a lead is a feature of Workbooks that you can use when you get a new inquiry and you don't know much about them. You can put them in as a sales lead. So it's just very basic information about this company. And Herman, when at the top of the lead screen, there's a convert button. So as you're talking to this lead and you've qualified them and they're a good fit for your company, they're a good fit for your products and services, you convert them to a proper opportunity. That's that convert button there, Herman, and it will just take you through quickly in a few seconds. You create the opportunity from the lead. Next question from Andrew: does the Sage link work for data added within the CRM rather than the full business edition? You need business edition, Andrew, for the Sage link if you want to contemplate the Sage link, because That's the standard way that the Sage link works. You looking at the sales process, you go up to order stage, the salesperson converts the quote to an order, and then a Sage person or an administrator using the Sage link will take the transaction. So you must have at least one person on the business edition there to take advantage of the Sage link. And next question from Andrew. I noticed lost notes. Where are they held recorded on the system? I'll come back to you, Andrew, on that after the call. I need to maybe ask one of my technical colleagues here about that question. Next question from Penny. Can you have an opportunity not linked to a customer? That's actually a good question, because many CRM systems out there force you, when you create an opportunity, you've got to link it to a company. I know very many well-known systems that actually force you to do that. It has to be linked to a company. Actually, Penny, you don't have to. You can create a new opportunity and it's not linked to anyone. Very briefly. Here we are back in Workbooks. Back to my start button there. If I pop up to new, right at the top there, so these are all the new types of records you can create. And there we are, Penny, opportunity. You can dive into creating the opportunity straight away. It doesn't need to be linked to any customer there. No problem at all. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions. So Andrew, I'll come back to your notes query there. Just like to thank everyone for your attendance this morning. Stay tuned for announcements on next week's presentation on a different aspect of workbooks and CRM, but thanks very much for your time. If you do need any more information on workbooks, or you'd like to have a 30-day trial and play around with it yourself, or you want more detailed pricing, please get in touch with me, Tim Wilmot. Tim, or my email address, tim@wizard-systems.com, our website there, wizard-systems.co.uk or .com. Thanks very much indeed for your time, and have a good day. Thank you.